Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scared before here bringing you another Minecraft Cold War vehicle tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the AMX-50 120mm. The AMX-50 120mm was a vehicle that was based upon the original chassis for the AMX-50. The AMX-50 was a tank that was designed in the immediate years following World War II, as the French needed a new modern tank to be able to transition into the modern age of vehicles. At the end of World War II, the French really lacked any kind of tanks or any kind of armored vehicles that would be considered modern for the time. And to combat this, the French were currently developing the ARL-44, which was not going to be classified really as a modern tank. It was not going to be fully capable in the role that it wanted it to fill. So therefore, the French government opened up a contract to the French industry to build them a modern tank for the time that would be able to obviously, support as their main battle tank, medium tank, and all that that newer tanks from other countries were starting to fill the roles of. And this led to the creation of the AMX-50, originally known as the M4 prototype. The original design had this chassis you can see in front of us, and it was equipped with a smaller 90mm Schneider gun with a very smaller turret that had a comparable performance to the German 8.8cm KWK 43. Later on, in 1951, the AMX-50 120mm project was started. This project here basically wanted to incorporate a 120mm gun to basically be fitted onto the chassis of the standard AMX-50. The type was armed with a 120mm gun, also with a 100 meters per second muzzle velocity in response to the perceived threat posed by Soviet heavy tanks such as the IS-3 and the T-10. To accommodate the larger gun, an enormous turret was fitted, originally planned in a conventional form. Eventually it was decided to make it of the oscillating type. The armor was increased on the turret and in the vehicle in general, and the tank went dramatically up in weight. So it was a very heavy tank, weighing up to 64 tons. Later on, the vehicle went through different testing, went through different production, and there were only a total of 5 actually constructed. And the tank itself never really went anywhere from there. And there were also plans to create a tank destroyer with the same size gun, known as the AMX-50 Fok, but that didn't go anywhere either. So overall, it was just kind of a theoretical tank, a experimental prototype vehicle to kind of fill in that awkward time period between, the modern and World War II tanks, where every country was trying to develop something new and basically outcompete the other countries around them. So overall, really cool tank. Definitely some interesting designs with it for sure. But it has been requested a few times, so I'm glad to finally deliver it to those of you guys that have been wanting it. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the vehicle, see exactly where we're going ahead and building, and obviously move into the tutorial here shortly. So starting off with, we have obviously the main feature, which is the 120mm gun, huge gun on it, just absolutely massive. Really cool muzzle brake too on it. I do like the barrel of the gun. I think it's really cool. It flows really nice with the turret itself. The turret kind of is a similar design to a lot of turrets that the French use. It's interesting. I think we've done a few tanks as well that are kind of like this. I think we've actually done the ARL-44, which also has a similar design, where it's kind of, circular here, but it kind of like slopes up, and then it has this back that goes back, and it's a very tall turret for the tank as well, which is interesting for sure. But pretty cool overall. Obviously we have the hull here, front details, all that fun stuff. Side here we got the road wheels. It's got kind of like that 2 sets of road wheels. So cool stuff there. And then on the back here, not a whole lot going on here, but the tank on the back really isn't that extremely detailed in terms of what's going on. There's just a couple vents, a couple hatches, and that's pretty much about it. So it's a pretty sleek back, and most of your details are really going to come in the fact here of the turret. The turret itself has a coaxial 7.62mm, and there's also a 50 caliber machine gun mounted on top of the tank as well, which is obviously optional. Anyways, that's pretty much the tank. In general, it's a pretty cool build, and pretty cool. We haven't done really too many French kind of, I guess, Cold War, somewhat, I guess, modern MBTs or medium tanks or heavy tanks, whatever you want to classify this as. So you know, good to finally come back and visit some French vehicles. Anyways, let's go and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer, layer 1. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into our first set of layers here, we'll be going ahead and actually working on layers 0 through 1, as we do need to place some blocks down the ground for the tracks. Anyways, for us to go ahead and get started here, the first thing we want to do is we want to take our nether brick slabs. We're going to place down a row of 2 nether brick slabs like this, followed by 2 nether brick top slabs coming off those 2 slabs like that going toward the front. After that's done, we're going to place down a row of 2 of green terracotta, with a stone button here on the left side, because this is going to be the left side here of the tracks. When that's done there, we're going to place down a green terracotta block here. We're then going to place down another row of 2, stone button to the side, and also a stone button coming off this green terracotta block as well. Now we want to go ahead and repeat this section, so 2 green terracotta blocks, 1. We're going to go ahead and repeat this a total of what is going to be 3 more times. So we have 1 section here, we're going to go and do it 2, and then we have it 3. And then we just want to go ahead and do 1 last row of 2 like this across. So looking at this, we should have a total of 2 rows, or basically 5 rows of 2 of green terracotta going down, and we should have 4 rows of basically 1 green terracotta block like that in between. Now in the sand spaces, or basically in my tutorial, we don't have the sand plots here, but basically you want to go and go to these blocks that are underneath these spaces here, and you place down nether brick blocks in the ground like this to replicate the tracks like that on the ground. After that's done, we're going to go and place down a row of 2 of nether brick slabs like this, followed by 2 nether brick top slabs coming off those nether brick slabs. With that all finished there, we're going to go ahead and take our dark oak with top slabs, place down a row of 1, 2, and 3 across from these 2 nether brick slabs. And we also want to take our dark oak with fence gates and go ahead and place down dark oak with fence gates coming off these 2 dark oak with top slabs to both sides there. Once that's done, we're going to go and go up to the front here. We're going to take our dark oak with slabs, place down a row of 3 coming off this nether brick slab like that. And then we just want to go and place down a dark oak with fence gate coming off this dark oak with top slab there in the middle. When that's done there, we're going to go and fill in the spaces in between these 2 rows of 3 of dark oak with top slabs. So just like this, all the way down like that to fill in the base here of the whole of the tank. With that done there, we're going to go up to the front here again, place down 2 nether brick slabs, 2 nether brick top slabs, and we just want to go and replicate what we did on the other side for the tracks, just over here to this side. So I'm going to go and do it a little bit faster, as I've already kind of covered on the other side in detail how to do it, but basically we're doing the same thing. If you need to, you can pause the video, or you know, just look at what we did on the other side there. But basically you want this on this side, and same thing over here on this side. And once you have that done, your chassis, or basically the first section here for the build, should look something like this. And once you have that all complete, that is going to wrap up layer 1, or layers 0 through 1 of the build. Let's move on to our next layer, layer 2. Alright guys, moving on to our next layer, we have layer 2. For layer 2, to go ahead and get started here, we're going to place down 2 nether brick stairs on top of these 2 nether brick top slabs like that. After that's done, we're going to place down a dark oak wood slab like this on both sides of these nether brick upside down stairs. Once that's done there, we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood upside down stair like this in between these 2 dark oak wood slabs just like that. After that's done, we're going to take our green terracotta, we're going to place down a row of 7 green terracotta all the way across in our next row back, followed by an item frame, cobweb on the sides here, same thing over here, item frame and cobweb. Also on this block right here, this on the end of these this row of 7 of green terracotta, we're going to place down a stone button on both ends like that to go ahead and make this sprocket wheel on the front there. Once that's done, we're going to go and place down a anvil on these green stained clay blocks like this, skip a space, anvil, and we're going to go and do this all the way down. So basically it's on the rows of 2 of green terracotta like that. In the spaces in between these anvils, we're going to place down dark oak wood upside down stairs all the way along the build like this, and then once we get to this point here, we can just go and place down a green terracotta block like that to fill that space in. Now, when we have that done, we're going to take our nether brick slabs, we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green or dark oak with top slabs, or sorry, nether brick top slabs back, followed by a green terracotta block like this, and then we're just going to place down a wooden trapdoor closed like this on the end. We would then want to go ahead and go to the nether brick top slabs that are kind of in this space right here, coming off the dark oak with upside down stairs. We're going to place down an item frame green terracotta block, so basically it's going to be skipping a space of 1, item frame green terracotta block, all the way along the side there like that. After that's done, on the rear here, we're going to place down 2 nether brick stairs like this, a dark oak wood upside down stair, and a dark oak wood upside down corner stair coming off that stair. With that finished, we're going to go ahead and then take our green terracotta, and we can go and fill in the space in the middle here, all the way back to that nether brick stair. Same thing right over here. All the way down here, just fill in space in the middle, unless you want to leave space for an interior, but for the most part we need to fill this in so that you cannot see through the tank for the anvils. Since the anvils don't take a full block of space, you don't want to have that empty space in the build for sure. Then when we get to the back here, we're going to place down a row of 3 of spruce wood stairs across, just like that, the back there. Now once that's all done, we're going to basically replicate what we did on the left side for the tracks over here to the right side. So like I did before, I'm going to go ahead and go a little bit faster, since we've already kind of went over how to do it. And nether brick top slabs all the way along the side here are item frames and green terracotta blocks in the item frames. And then back here at this section, row 2 of green terracotta to the side, wooden trapdoor, where they're going to place down 2 nether brick stairs. So 1 and 2, dark oak wood upstairs stair, dark oak wood corner stair. Just like that for the back there. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple there. And once you have that done, we're going to go and move back up to the front and do one addition up on the front here. So for the front, we're going to put the headlights in. We're going ahead and go into these dark oak wood slabs. We're going to place down 2 item frames, glass blocks in these item frames, and then a wooden sign on the dark oak wood slab like that for the headlights on the front there. After that's all done, that's going to do it for layer 2. With that, let's move on to layer 3. Alright guys, moving on to our next layer, we have layer 3. For layer 3, we're going to start off by placing down a wooden trapdoor on this nether brick stair here on both sides, followed by a green carpet coming off of it out to the sides. Once that's done there, we're going to place down a dark oak wood slab on this green terracotta block like this, and then coming off of it on top of this dark oak wood upstairs stair, and place down a green carpet. With that done, we're going to place down a wither skeleton skull on this green terracotta block, and coming off of it to both sides, we're going to place down a green carpet like that. After that's done, going back from this dark oak wood slab, we're going to place down a green terracotta block, followed by a dark oak wood stair to both sides, and a dark oak wood corner stair coming off this stair, again, to both sides like that. With that done, we're going to go and place down a redstone comparator on top of this nether brick top slab to both sides like so. We then want to place down a spruce wood plank going off this green terracotta block like this back, and then 2 green terracotta blocks out to both sides from that spruce wood plank. We're then going to place down a dark oak wood stair on both sides like this, and going back from this dark oak wood stair and place down 1 more stair back. Same thing over here. And then we want to take our green terracotta and just place down a row of 5 across. Once we have that done, we're going to go and take our green terracotta. We're going to place down a total of 4 rows of 7 of green terracotta going all the way across here to fill in the space like this. So rows of 7 all the way across here, same thing right here, and right here as well. So we have 4 rows of 7 like that going across. When we get to this section here, we're going to place down a green terracotta block here in the middle. We then want to grab ourselves some black wool blocks. We're going to place down a black wool block to both sides, and then coming off this black wool block, we're going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall. And after the mossy cobblestone wall, just a green terracotta block to both sides. We then want to go and go to the middle green terracotta block, place down another one like this back. We're going to go and grab a spruce wood plank, place down one like this to both sides like so. Sorry, my bad. It's going to be a black wool block like this to both sides, and then a spruce wood plank come off this mossy cobblestone wall. We then want to place down a green terracotta block to both ends, and that right there will do it for that section there. Continuing on, we're going to place down a row of 5 of green terracotta across the middle here, and then we want to follow that up by placing down a black wool block to both sides. So black wool block like this to both sides, and on the side of this black wool block, we're going to place down a ladder like that. With that done, we're going to place down a green terracotta block here in the middle, spruce wood plank to both sides, green terracotta block to both sides, and then a black wool block here on the very ends, and like we did before, a ladder on the side of that black wool block. For the rear section here, we're going to place down a green terracotta block in the middle, followed by 2 black wool blocks out to either side, green terracotta block here in the corners. We then want to take ladders and place down ladders coming off the sides of those black wool blocks, and then we want to go ahead and place down a dark oak fence gate coming off the middle green terracotta block like so. With that done, we're going to need to go into our creative menu, grab ourselves some item frames and also some red stained glass. We're going to go and do the brake lights by placing down an item frame, red stained glass block, and a sign over like this. Same thing over here on this side for the tail lights like that. And with that all complete, that is going to wrap up layer number 3. With that, let's move on to layer 4. Alright guys, moving on to our next layer, we have layer 4. For layer 4 to go ahead and get started here, we're going to place down a zombie head on top of this green terracotta block, followed by a zombie head at a slight angle like this to both sides here for the little view slots or viewports for the driver. When that's done, we're going to place down a stone button on this spruce wood plank, followed by a stone button on these green terracotta blocks to both sides. Once that's done, we're going to place down a dark oak wood stair here in the middle, followed by one dark oak wood stair to both sides, so you have a row of 3, and then a dark oak wood corner stair on both ends of that row of 3, like that for the front there. With that done, we're going to take our green terracotta blocks, we're going to place down a row of 5 across the middle here, followed by a wooden sign on both sides. Once that's done there, we're going to go and take our green terracotta, place down another row of 7 across, followed by again a wooden sign on both sides. After that's all done there, we're going to place down a row of 3 of green terracotta across the middle here, followed by a mossy cobblestone wall to both sides there. And we then want to place down a dark oak wood stair in the middle, followed by a dark oak wood corner stair to both sides. Going ahead and continuing to work our way back, we're going to go and take our rails, place down 1 and 2 rails back on these black wool blocks, same thing over here. We're then going to go and take our green carpet, place down 1 and 2, 1, 2, 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, basically covering up those black wool blocks. And then we're just going to go and take some stone buttons, place down 2 stone buttons on these 2 spruce wood planks. Once you have that all complete, that is going to wrap it up for layer 4. And with that, we're going to move on to our next layer, layer 5. Alrighty guys, moving on to our next layer, we have layer 5. For layer 5, for us to go ahead and get started here, we're going to place down a green terracotta block on top of this dark oak wood stair here in the middle, like so. We then want to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, and 4 green terracotta blocks forward, so that you have a total of 5 so far. We're going to switch to mossy cobblestone walls, place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 mossy cobblestone walls forward, followed by a dark oak wood stair. And then coming off this dark oak wood stair, we're going to place down a second stair facing it, so you get a shape like that for the front here. We're going to go ahead and go to both sides of the first stair here, place down a wooden sign, and then we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a zombie head and place down a zombie head coming off of both sides of the second stair. On the very end here, we're going to place down an item frame with a black wool block in it for the end of the barrel there, and then just 2 green carpets on top of these 2 dark oak wood stairs. With that done, we're going to go and go back to our gun here. We want to go ahead and go to the dark oak wood stairs here on both sides of this green terracotta block here. We're going to place down a zombie head here at a slight angle, like that on both sides. Once that's done, we're going to go and take wooden signs, and we're going to place down a row of 2 wooden signs on the second and third green terracotta block here. 1 and 2 on both sides like that. After that's done, we're going to place down a additional 1 green terracotta block back, followed by a dark oak wood stair, and then a dark oak wood corner stair to the sides. And same thing over here, dark oak wood stair, dark oak wood corner stair, like so. With that done, we're going to take our green terracotta, we're going to place down a solid row of 5 across like so. Once that's done there, we're going to go and place down a row of 3 across, followed by a dark oak wood upside down stair to both sides. After that's done there, we want to go and then place down another row of 3 of green terracotta across, followed by again an additional row of 2 here of dark oak wood stairs like that, or another dark oak wood stair on both sides, upside down. We're then going to place down a row of 3 of upside down stairs across those green terracotta blocks, followed by a dark oak wood top side to both sides, and we then want to place down a row of 5 of dark oak wood top sides across. With that complete, we're going to place down another brick stair here, coming off this dark oak wood slab. Same thing over here. And when that's all finished there, we're going to go and place down a wither skeleton skull coming off the front here of this nether brick stair. And then we want to take signs and put on the sides of this and back of the stair. Same thing over here. Just like that. And once that's all finished up there, that is going to wrap up layer number 5. With that, let's move on to layer number 6. Alright guys, moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 6. For layer 6 to go and begin with, we're going to place down a dark oak wood slab on top of this green terracotta block, followed by a dark oak wood stair back from that slab like so. Once that's done, come off the slab forward, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some wooden trapdoors, and we're going to place down 1 and 2 wooden trapdoors forward. After that, we're going to place down a green terracotta block behind this dark oak wood stair, followed by a dark oak wood stair to both sides of this green terracotta block, and then a dark oak wood corner stair like this out to the sides there. Once that's wrapped up there, we're going to go and place down a item frame coming off these 2 dark oak wood corner stairs to the sides with a green terracotta block in the item frame, and we also want to place down an item frame coming off the front side there of the stair facing toward the front of the vehicle. We're going to place down an item frame and a black wool block like that with a sign also on the dark oak wood corner stair like this to go ahead and make the viewports there. Once that's done, we're going to place down a zombie head on this dark oak wood stair here. And then we want to place down a dark oak wood slab on top of this, or basically coming off this dark oak wood stair like that, forward. And then coming off this dark oak wood slab, we're going to put the basically coaxial machine gun, and that's going to be a end rod just like that. Once that's done, we're going to take our green terracotta, we're going to place down a row of 5 across. We're going to then place down a stone button on both ends of this row of 5. With that done, we're going to place down a second row of 5, green terracotta across. We're going to go and then go to the middle here, place down a row of 2 spruce wood planks, followed by a row of 2 green terracotta on both sides, and then a row of 2 mossy cobblestone walls to both sides as well. When that's all done there, we're going to go and grab ourselves some tools. So iron frames and different iron tools like this. We're going to place down 2 iron frames like this, iron axe, shovel, right down on the side here for some tools. And over here on this side, we're just going to leave it blank. Then on the very back, we're just going to place down a stone button on the spruce wood plank, followed by a tripwire hook, which is going to go on these 2 green terracotta blocks on both sides. After that's all complete, that is going to do it there for layer 6. With that, we're going to move into our final layers, which are going to basically be layers 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So with that, let's go ahead and move into our final layers, 7 through 11. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, our last final layers, we have layers 7 through 11. For these layers, to go ahead and get started with, we're going to place down a spruce wood stair that is going to go on top of this green terracotta block over here on the left side, and then a spruce wood slab over here to the right side. Now going ahead and surrounding this spruce wood stair here, we're going to place down zombie heads like this all the way around it. We then want to go ahead and go to the back of the stair, which is facing toward the front of the tank. We're going to place down an iron frame with a black wool block in the iron frame like that. We then want to go and go to the spruce wood slab. We're going to place down a zombie head here on the side facing the rear, and the side here facing the right side there. Now coming off the spruce wood slab, we're going to place down a dark oak wood fence gate forward, followed by a dark oak wood fence post. This right here will be used as the mount for the 50 cal, which we'll get to in a second. Working our way back, we're going to place down a stone button on these 2 green terracotta blocks. We then want to place down a, we're actually going to go and make one quick adjustment here. We're going to go ahead and take this zombie head here, we're going to break this. This is actually going to be a dark oak wood slab, and then a zombie head on both sides of the slab like that. So that's going to make it more of a proper hatch there. So what we're going for. And then with that done, we're going to take our stone buttons, place down 1 and 2 over here on the right side on those 2 green terracotta blocks. We're then going to place down a dark oak wood fence post on these 2 mossy cobblestone walls. And going up for these fence posts, we're going to go ahead and go up 1, 2, 3. Iron bars like this, and same thing over here. 1, 2, and 3. Iron bars up like that for the radio antennas. With that done, we're going to go ahead and work on our 50 caliber machine gun now. So this is obviously an optional addition to the build. Not all pictures that you see of the AMX-50s have this on here, but you can theoretically imagine that they probably would have a machine gun mounted on top here. But yeah, to go ahead and begin with, we're going to place down an anvil on top of the dark oak wood fence gate here. So just like this, followed by a nether brick top slab, or nether brick upside down stair coming off of it. Coming off the nether brick upside down stair to place down 2 end rods forward, and then to the right of the nether brick stair to place down a dark oak wood top slab. On the other side here of the dark oak wood top slab, we're going to place down a wooden sign like that. Coming off the back of the anvil here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood fence gate opened up toward the anvil like so. On top of the nether brick upside down stair, we're going to place down a redstone repeater, notches flicked forward, and we then want to place down a green carpet on top of this nether brick, or this dark oak wood top slab there. Once that's all done, that's going to do it for the 50 caliber machine gun, and that right there will go ahead and complete my tutorial for the AMX-50 120mm. Hope you guys did enjoy this build and are able to put it to good use. If you guys do end up using it, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This being anything from the start of the build to my channel or this video if there's paying social media sites. As long as I get credit for the build, that's all I ask for when doing these tutorials. It helps my channel grow and it continues to keep me inspired to keep on posting these types of tutorials. So as long as you guys give me credit for it, you're free to use it for whatever projects you guys are working on. And other than that, thank you guys all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Garrett 2x4, and I will see you guys next time.